What's up, everybody? Welcome to Poke Science. My name's Luke, and I got a real treat of a video for you here today. So I've been a fan of Pokemon for the last 5 years or so. I got into it around the Pokemon Go era, and since then I've been collecting, buying, selling, trading, doing all that kind of fun stuff, getting involved with the community. It's been a real blast, and since then I've been kind of watching a lot of videos of people, talking about Pokemon cards, talking about investments and things like that. And I watch these videos and I sit there and I'm like, I want to do the same thing. I want to, get on there. I want to look up what the best investments are. Just see through my eyes what I think are the best cards that people should purchase or put in their collection or make a binder of. And I think I have 5 cards that I think are kind of my top picks that I think are just going to skyrocket in value. And I wanted to share them with you today and see if you all agree with me. And I have a little bit of insider info I'm going to give you a little bit later. And I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first card that I'm going to bring up here, and I'm going to have it pop up here right next to me so you can see it in all of its glory, is the Origin Form Palkia V-Star from Crown Zenith. Now, this is a gold card. This is one of the hardest cards that you can pull out of the set. Okay, and it's sitting around $94. Like, to me, that's insane. That screams insane value. Now, before I get into this card, I want to tell you a little bit of a story. So I have a friend, and I can't say his name, but he works at the Pokemon Center, all right? So around the time they were printing Crown Zenith, he calls me. He's like, Luke, we got a problem here. We got a big problem. He's like, I'm here, I'm watching the cards go on the conveyor belt, and there's an issue. Almost every card that comes through has got an error on it. It's getting cut too short. It's getting cut too long. And they just put the trash bin at the end of the row, at the end of the conveyor belt, and they're just letting the cards go into that. And this is happening every day of the week. There's a big issue with these print runs with Crown Zenith. That's what he's telling me. He's talking, he's kind of letting me in on this industry secret. And he's saying, Luke, if I were you, I'd probably buy a few of these because this is crazy. He's not seeing many of them actually make it off the line. And so I'm listening to him, and I'm looking at the way things have gone the last few years since they've been out of print. And I think my professional analysis is that there might be only 10 to 15 of these cards actually out in the wild. So at a $94 price point, I think that's a pretty good investment. I would definitely see if you can pick one of these up somewhere, maybe at a card show. I don't know. I don't know anybody who has one of these, and I would hope to find a few of them soon. Next up is the Moo Moo Milker card. I'm a big milk shill, so this was a no-brainer for me. Now, I've officially never broken a bone before, and I directly attribute that to my love of milk. I say officially because I hurt my pinky finger really bad in volleyball a few years ago, and I never went to the doctor, so there's no official paperwork on that. That's not important. What is important is that this Pokemon card is really unique. It depicts a Pokemon-esque creature drinking milk from a handheld cow device. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but it is nightmare fuel. And I think this would pique the interest of a lot of unique collectors, a lot of oddity collectors, and it's sitting around $10 right now. I would be wanting to pick this up sub $100 as soon as possible. I think the art is amazing. I think the colors just pop, and I would love to have a whole binder full of these cards if it were possible. But remember, they're banned, so they're a little bit harder to get. But if you look close, you can find some. Next up, we have the Snubbull Common Hollow from Detective Pikachu. Now, this is a little bit of a sleeper hit. I was a little iffy about keeping it in the video, but I was walking around my apartment complex and I saw about 8 different people with pets or 4-legged creatures that looked exactly like this thing. And so I think with that kind of popularity, we're going to see this skyrocket up into 2027, and we're going to see this kind of dry up. I think it's sitting around 30 cents. I would expect this to be a $30 card within the next 3 to 4 years. And so I think this is something to definitely pick up. Make a binder out of, trade for it with your buddies. Try to get rid of some of those alternate arts, some of those illustration rares that you don't really care for, and kind of switch them out for things like this that are a real sleeper hit. It's like a sleeper hit. All right, the next one up is an absolute banger. I love this card, and it's a Ditto XY Black Star promo. Now, this thing is gorgeous, and it's a heavy hitter too. This thing is lowest listed around $120 on TCG Player. I think the art's beautiful. I really like that he's all pink and stuff, and he looks like he's like flying through a universe of DNA. And I love it. I think it's super appealing art-wise, color-wise. I think you could see this rival even some of the top hits and Unbroken Bonds. I'll say something crazy. I'll say something that probably no one's ever said before, but I think we're looking at something that looks aesthetically better than anything that was printed in Team Up. I wouldn't say Evolving Skies, but I would say Team Up for sure. Now this thing, you got the Lovebirds, you got the Ditto XY Black Star promo. Now this thing, it's 120 right now. It's pretty steep in price, but I think that we could watch this thing keep ticking up over time. It's been on a constant rise since it released. And I think that this is something every kid's gonna want in their binder. This is something I think they should make t-shirts out of and merch out of. I would love more items that looked exactly like this Ditto here in this art. And last but not least, one of my all-time favorites, we have the Grand Bull V from Brilliant Stars. Now I have about 3 or 4 binders full of this card. I am a big Grand Bull shill. I think that it was one of the most creative Pokemon designs that we've seen in the last 15 years. I'm obsessed with this thing. I got plushies, I got t-shirts, I got all kinds of stuff. I think that this is something that everyone should pick up. I think that people should be trading out your alternate arts for them, trading out anything that's kind of already hit its peak. So after I initially bought a few binders full of this card, I went and I checked TCG Player and I was like, okay, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Okay, they're only about $1.30 near mint. Now that's amazing to me that a card this nice can sit there at that price consistently and it not rise or fall. And I think that that is just the sign of a strong investment. And I hope to see this rise to $3, $4, $5, maybe even $6 as we enter into the winter season of this year, where people get really excited around the holidays and start to put some of their money towards the hobby. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my choices. And I think we're gonna start calling this the Hidden Gems series, because I think a lot of these cards that I put up here, not a lot of people would think about them, but I think that they're hidden gems, things that, you know, when you go to card shows and you see these tables and you see the Moonbreon. All right, you go to the left. Oh, there's the Bubble Mew. Oh, these are great cards, great investments. But then you look closer and you see, oh, is that a Snubbull right there? I'll take that. You take that and you put that away. You put that away for a few years, or you put it in your collection, and not just for your enjoyment, but for your financial security. But I just want to put a disclaimer here at the end that this is not financial nor spiritual advice, and that everything I say should be thoroughly researched before you actually make any money moves. Thank you so much for watching. This is Pokey Science with Luke. Have a good day.